Hello, thank you so much for joining this presentation. It's titled Exploring Careers in Health Sciences. My name is Dr. Kelechi Eguzo. I work with my Marjorie Foundation in Nigeria. So, congratulations for all of you who have worked so hard to finish secondary school. It is not so easy to start from JS1 and going all the way you persevered to come to this finish line. This shows that you're very smart and that you're able to accomplish a lot of things. And you know what? A lot of people have gone through this. And at this point in life, people always have questions. What do I do next? And what are my options? I'd like to pay attention to this video because many years ago I was in this position and I didn't quite know what I wanted to do and I wasn't sure. Should I be an engineer? Should I be a police officer? I had a lot of things going through my head. And I believe if you pay attention to this video in the next few minutes, you might understand a few things about careers in health sciences. So, there are many ways to become successful in life. There are many careers that you can take. According to the Nebraska Career Connections, they broke down the career options that people have into six or so categories. The first of them is environmental health and agricultural systems. So that's what people who want to work with food or agriculture, like that's kind of those careers. Or if you look at human services and resources, that's where you would have things like law and public safety, public administration, or education. But for today, we'll be focusing on careers in health sciences. And health sciences is a very broad area. Let me ask you, when you hear about careers in health sciences or careers in healthcare, what comes to your mind? Just think about this for a few minutes. What do you know about people who work in health sciences? Okay, pay attention to this video.
The field of health science is one of the fastest growing career fields in the world. Health science encompasses hundreds of different careers, including many you may not have thought about as being typical medical careers. Along with critical thinking, health science careers combine science, technology, engineering, and math every day on the job to solve problems and help our community to stay healthy. Let's start out with the most well-known health science careers. Typically, when one thinks of health science, doctors, nurses, and dentists immediately come to mind. Whether it's a private practice office or a hospital setting, these professionals are vital to patient care.
Are you surprised? There are many career options in health sciences. Previously I used to thought it was just being a doctor, nurse, pharmacist, but believe me, there are many options. And these options are broken down into few categories. Let's call them, let's start with therapeutic services. So these are careers like doctors, nurses, pharmacists, or pharmacy technicians, people who are hands-on with the patients, providing care that is meant to heal them. Now, diagnostic services, this one here, is for people who, these are careers that are aimed towards helping people, helping the doctors and nurses make up their minds about what the problem is with the patient. So diagnosis is actually about finding out what the problem is with the patient. So diagnostic services are people who are into investigations like radiographers or medical lab scientists or even optometrists. Now the other category of of careers is health informatics. Now informatics is a broad science category that deals with information. So health information management or epidemiologist or health educator, these ones are under that category of health informatics. Support services are kind of a broad category for people who enable the other areas function well. So they support what the informatics or diagnostic services or therapeutics do. So like clinical engineers or biomedical technicians or even surgical technicians. Then biochemists and toxicologists are in the category called biotechnology research and development. This list is not exhaustive. There are many other options in health sciences. These are just examples. So let's focus on a few of these experts. What do you think they do? Let's start with nurses. I can imagine that where you grew up, there must be a nurse or two around you, maybe in your church, maybe on your streets. Nurses are, we call them the engine of the healthcare system. These people drive patient care, and they are very wonderful to work with. I'd like to point you out to Nurse Nancy Owenye. She's the woman standing in the picture. This beautiful and hardworking nurse is the person that leads cancer screening in Abia State through Marjorie Foundation and Abia Cancer Control Group. So nurses are very important in the health system, and I'll tell you what it takes to be a nurse shortly. Now, medical doctors are also the other group of people in healthcare sciences. They are most responsible for patient care, meaning that every patient is under a doctor, and the doctor works with every other person in the medical team. And doctors are very hardworking, and it takes quite a lot of studying to be a doctor, which I'll get into shortly. I'd like to highlight Dr. Onyema Obuago. He is a prominent Nigerian doctor who graduated from the University of Calabar, like myself. And do you know this man helped develop the first COVID-19 vaccine? That is what doctors do, among other things. Now, what about medical lab scientists? These are the people at the heart of diagnosis. I told you what diagnosis meant earlier, right? So, medical lab scientists and technicians help doctors and nurses make diagnoses. They guide us in the tests that we do. They guide us in help in choosing what was the best way to treat a patient or how to find out what the problem is. Now, pharmacy technicians and pharmacists, they are the hands of treatment, meaning they are not really into what is the problem, they are into how do you solve the problem. So they ensure that drugs are safe and that they are very effective. Now, biomedical engineers and technicians, these people keep the medical equipment working. Have you ever pondered whatever happens to the ultrasound machine when it breaks down? Or who ensures that the laboratory's machines give us the right results? That is the work of the biomedical engineers. So they ensure patient safety and make sure that our results are accurate, that our equipment are functioning properly. Now, health information practitioners or managers, these people guard health records. You know, when you go to see a doctor, you expect that the next time you go to see him again, he will remember all you told him before. Or let's say you want to get a doctor's report, the doctor should be able to tell exactly what is wrong with you. The health information managers are people that guard these records. They are very important components of the healthcare team. What about community health workers? I would like to point you out to my friend Promise. She is a community health worker with Marjorie Foundation. You know, she's very hardworking and talented. Community health workers help monitor patients closely. They actually work in the communities to provide care and treat minor illnesses. They are very important members of the healthcare team. Then surgical technicians. You know, surgery is kind of where you get operation and surgical operations. So surgical technicians support doctors and nurses in the operating theater. They make sure that instruments are safe and that they are sound. And also, you know, let's say if you need oxygen, but surgical technicians help make sure those things are all available. I call them the angels of the operating theater because you don't really see what they do, but they make sure things flow very, very smoothly. So, did you know that health professionals are in high demand? And there are many reasons why this is. One of them is because people get sick and people need to be treated properly. Also, our world is getting more, you know, people are beginning to live longer in this world. And as you get older, people develop more illnesses. So we need more hands to take care of the aging population. As well, many healthcare workers are retiring. I can imagine that the nurse who started treating you when you were 2 years old will be older by now. And so, as nurses and doctors get older, we need younger people like you to get into the healthcare fields and keep all of us healthy. And you know, the demand for healthcare workers isn't just limited to Nigeria. If you look in North America, like US and Canada, or even in Europe, people are always in demand for healthcare workers. So when you study at the right institution, when you go to school at the right place with the right exposure, it might open doors for you to work internationally. So I told you I'll get back to what it takes to go into the healthcare fields. The first thing you need is a good background in the STEM subjects. So STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. So you need a good O-level credit in English, mathematics, physics, chemistry, biology. But apart from those things, I call this basic. Apart from those basic qualifications, you need good communication skills. There's this thing that people expect to be treated with respect, and respect starts with how you talk to people. So being able to communicate properly and respectfully with people is a very good skill in health sciences. The other one is analytical skills. You need to be able to understand complex information, break it down, and use it to help a patient. The third one is technical skills. It's not proper when someone expects you to be a good doctor and they come out very disappointed because you don't seem to know the job very well. So knowing the job very well is a very important part of being in health sciences.
In my opinion, the medical field, there's no better job to do. It's satisfying. You feel like you've accomplished something by the end of the day and maybe made a difference in one or two people's lives every day. And it's financially sound. And if you like working with people and getting to know people, this is a great field to be in.
So health sciences are very, very rewarding. They open doors to a lifelong learning, lifelong service, and you can also make some money doing that. So where do you get trained? Well, if you want to be a doctor or medical lab scientist or pharmacist, you need to go to university. That's where they train the top level health professionals. Doctors go to school for about 6 years, lab scientists 5 years, pharmacists 5 years. Now after you're done with your undergraduate degree, you now have to spend a year for internship or housemanship, and then another year for youth service. Now, if you want to be a nurse, you could go either to university and do a 5-year Bachelor of Nursing degree, or you can go to a School of Nursing and Midwifery to do a 3-year registered nursing or midwife. Now, after you're done with those 3 years, you can either specialize to be a midwife, or you can go into different areas of nursing like ear, nose, and throat, or cardiovascular nursing, or even study to be a peri-operative nurse. There are many options for nurses. Now, if you want to go to school to become a laboratory technician, these are the people we call mid-level managers in the health system. You need to go to the college or schools of health, science, and technology. So that's where you train med lab technicians, pharmacy technicians, community health workers, biomedical engineers, and surgical technicians. So let me introduce you to our college called Marjorie College of Health Sciences and Technology. This college was established in 2019 by as an education initiative of Marjorie Foundation. And a bit about ourselves as a foundation. Our foundation was established to help promote education, health, and community development in Nigeria. Now, we've been working in this area since 2012. We do a lot of work in Abia, Akwa Ibom, and Imo Rivers, and different parts of Nigeria. So this school was established to enable us bring down all that we've learned over the years in working internationally to help promote healthcare in Nigeria. And our college was established to use innovation in modern educational technology. You know how things change every day. The way people learned 10 years ago is a little bit different from how people are learning today. And since this pandemic happened, people have come to realize that online learning is actually very important. So our school is developed or is designed to use a blend of online, classroom, laboratories, clinical experience to help make education very accessible to you wherever you are, and also to make it fun while you're studying. It doesn't help for you to go through school and you have to memorize every damn thing because you don't have access to what the lecturer said. Whereas if you have some of your lecture notes online, you can always go back and reread and repeat, so that way you can get more competent. That is the kind of innovation we bring to the board as Marjorie College. Again, our college is well connected with different hospitals and institutions in Abia and Akwa Ibom State for clinical experience. For instance, we are connected with the University of Youth Teaching Hospital, Abia State University Teaching Hospital, and Nigerian Christian Hospital, and many private hospitals in those areas, so that students have a wide variety of places where they can go to gain experience. We are also committed to using research to improve healthcare and the students' experience. That's why our motto is innovation, research, and community. Our laboratories are very well equipped. You see, this picture here is for our medical laboratory department. This is from our computer science, our computer labs. So we are very well set up to help you gain knowledge in a way that you won't forget things easily and you become very successful as a healthcare provider. Now, our college is currently accepting applications for the 2021 session, which will start in September. We have the following programs which have been accredited by their various bodies. The first is Medical Laboratory Science. This is a 3-year diploma. When you finish, you get licensed as a medical laboratory technician. And then Health Information Management, it takes 3 years. Community Health also takes 3 years. Pharmacy Technician takes 3 years. But if you're looking to study some biomedical engineering technology, that is a 2-year diploma. Now, Surgical Technician is a 1-year certificate. So there are many options for people. And the good thing is that you don't need JAMB in order to apply to our school. I'll get to it shortly. So our entry requirement is basic. First, you go online to www.mbashcollege to submit an application form. You need an email address to do this. If you don't have an email address, don't worry. We have actually a link on our website that can help you open a Gmail account, and that is free. So after you open the account, the email, and then submit an application, you need to pay for the application form. This is done online through Remita. You can also use the Remita code or RRR that you generate to pay using a POS or ATM machine, or even go to the bank to pay. Now, what do we require? First is 5 O-level credits in English, Maths, Physics, Chemistry, Biology. Those are very basic. Now, if you're a student and you're just finishing secondary school and you're like, I don't have WAEC now, sure, we will also consider people who are awaiting results. Now, you don't need JAM like I mentioned earlier, because our school is a college of health. For those of you who didn't write JAM or who didn't pass JAM, this is a good opportunity for you to go to school. Now, the entire application process takes 6 minutes to complete. It's super easy. And you see, this is our library here. This is a place where you're going to enjoy reading lots of books in different areas. And this here shows you what our portal looks like when you're going to apply. And again, this is another picture showing our computer lab. We are set up to make you successful. Now, why should you choose our school? The first thing is that we have a dedicated team of lecturers. One thing in choosing a school is to ask yourself, who is going to teach you and what are you going to graduate with? So we have lecturers who are very skilled and dedicated, not just people who went to school to study something, but people who practice what they're going to be teaching you. And then, because we are set up to use online learning and classroom learning, there will be no strike that can stop your education. And even if lockdown happens tomorrow, it will not stop your education, because you can go to school from wherever you are, since we have things set up online as well. Our school has a strong international connection. We have connections with people in Canada, United States, and Germany. So our lecturers come from those areas as well as Nigeria. Now, our students have an opportunity to work on campus. One thing that's helped students succeed is when they can practice what they're learning, or even learn in a way that they are challenged beyond just academics. So our school has opportunities for you to work in research or support services, such as working in the library or even working as a cleaner on campus. Now, we also have lots of opportunities for you to gain practical experience through the research that we do on campus. And then the other reason why you have to choose our school is that our courses are accredited by the relevant councils. On May 14, the Medical Laboratories Council of Nigeria told us, yes, you guys can start admitting students. And recently, in June 23, the health officers, the health records board, those who look after health information management, gave us a letter to say, yes, you guys can admit students. So we are accredited by these bodies, and more accreditations are also coming. Then the other thing is that when you graduate, you have a professional diploma, and you also get a license from these bodies. That's what really matters when you're going into health sciences. Are you licensed? The other thing I want to mention to you is that our campus is very beautiful. Check out our hostel. It's very well located. It is very secure and it is beautiful. The city of Aba, where we are located, is also very largely safe. There are lots of misconceptions about Aba as being one of those places that nobody wants to go there. No, Aba is a very, very beautiful city to visit, and if you go there, it's also very affordable to live in. So, what would it cost you to go to our school? First, our tuition is very low compared to what we're offering. For 2021-2022 session, we will be asking for an acceptance fee of 20,000, and then if we admit you, you have to pay a tuition of 100,000 naira, and that is payable in 2 installments. Now, if you want to live in our beautiful hostel, which is very optional, but I really, really recommend that, you have to pay 50,000 naira annually for the hostel. So, before I let you go, I just want to remind you that careers in health sciences open the door to a lifetime of service, and you can also be fulfilled as a health science as a healthcare provider. I want to encourage you to consider applying to Marjorie College in Aba because you benefit from a team of international lecturers. You gain exposure to research, community development, and you get to participate in some of those things that we do at Marjorie Foundation. And I'll highlight some of them shortly. Our school is also accredited by the relevant professional bodies. And then just before I round up, our foundation, Marjorie Foundation, is involved in Teacher of the Month projects, whereby every month we reward teachers in secondary schools in Niger State for motivating their students. That's one thing you can be part of. Our library is also open to people who even if they're not students. You can promote this. You can bring your friends along to the library. They can register and get to borrow books or even read books that are from different cultures. Our library is very well equipped as well. So our foundation is dedicated to helping young people succeed. I know you have questions at the end of this presentation, so I would encourage you to call our college office. The number is there on the screen, 0806 172 5636. You can also email us, or you can go to our website and check out what's happening there. If you're on Facebook or Twitter, find us using the word MBash College. Thank you so much, and I look forward to welcoming you to Marjorie Bash College.